don't know what I would have done without. And I'm happy to do whatever you need.
Nolan says, "Oh, come here, you big lug," and he gives him the big old hug.
I hate So, is there anything else you guys would like to do or ask while you are here?
I have a DM question, I'm guessing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
I know one.
What is the size of a rat? No, I'm just kidding. The whole mirror thing, the Celestial Ocean, I believe.
Yes.
Called it. We had mentioned at one point to Sorth that we wanted to look into a way to like move between them because they clearly had one.
Yes.
We know there was one in the Granny's May house. Do we know the location of any others that would be potential to use, and or does Sorth / Overham / Lady Alhaya know? Okay. Because if we could waypoint our way around the world, I'm just saying.
But I don't think the carriage would fit in, so we'd have to factor that in.
We don't know that?
At least if it's the mirror specifically that's in the Granny's May house, then I don't think the carriage would fit.
No, that's fair. Because I mean, even if theoretically it could go through the mirror, we still have to get it down to the basement.
Or it wasn't in the basement; it was in the bedroom.
Which was still in the basement.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that one was up. Okay.
The bedroom.
No, it was in that, like, remember we had to go down underneath that carpet, underneath down into the dungeon type thing. It was down there.
So Sorth does know of other mirror locations. The other Avram does not, and Lady Alhaya most certainly does not. You could theoretically, yes, use them as bouncing points, provided you knew where they all were. And no, you could not take the carriage.
Yeah, I was just curious if it would be possible for us to use the Celestial Ocean to move around. That's all.
It is. You would know that with the nature of what you had figured out before, that's probably one of the purposes of it. And also, I guess, talking about this now, since this was all lore dump, I can explain to you more about this because I mentioned it very briefly, but there were other iterations between the Archons and people. Yes? One of those iterations specifically is giants, and those giants were problematic, and they were essentially banished to what is the Celestial Ocean, and they are what form the constellations in the sky that you are familiar with. So, with that, you know that that place is very directly connected to the world, and traveling in that place specifically is traveling in the realm of a giant rather than a person. So distance is different. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think last time we encountered it was kind of like, this is like the Nether in Minecraft.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember if we actually had discussed that, but yes, that is.
Anyway, sorry, I'm getting into some deeper things that I think our brains are not currently prepared for. So, Stamp smiles as if to say, "Yup."
And again, we can discuss some more of these things later on when you kind of. I'll send you the document. You can read through it. Have any questions? Relatively, that answers your question. Sir Roland, I presume that you would share with Michelle all of the things were discussed to a certain extent. Is there anything in particular that you like interaction-wise there?
Yeah, the next time Roland sees Michelle, he like stands up and he gives him a big hug, and he's almost like crying. It's like he's finally meeting him for the first time post rescue, and like he doesn't have any doubts in his mind that this guy is legit. And so he hugs him, and then he looks over and he sees Eugene, and he brings Eugene in for this big group hug.
Michelle immediately is like, I don't like where this is
Roland tells the whole thing that the Archon appeared. He said that they've done a great thing in defeating this demon, and we've been awarded some land in the city where we're going to build a chapel, and this is it. We're finally going to get the order back together. We're going to get the boys back together. We're going to hit the road.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back. Somebody call up Phil Lynott. The boys are back in town, and we've come to claim the emerald.
Sorry, you say my name? Are you guys talking about me?
It's no, it's an underrated track off of Jailbreak.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, Emerald. Sorry.
Yeah, no, a banger, a club banger. But yeah, Roland is overjoyed to see Michelle again. And
Michelle kind of lets this all sit in for a few minutes, and at first he is like checking to see if you're like okay. And after he determines that you're fine, he like realizes what you're saying and kind of lets it all sink in as well. And to your knowledge, you are one of maybe 5 people in the history of your order that even claims to have had a type of interaction. And you see that Michel, he knows you very well. He doesn't question you, but he seems very like awestruck almost. He's not really sure what to say. He's not sure how to handle all of the information that's flooding out of you all at once. He is happy about the church. Are you asking him to stay there to do this?
yeah,
Okay.
to administer, like, for him and Jean to stay and administer the chapel and sort of set up a beacon here. He tells him about there's a church in Padstow, and you can start runners to and from there, and establish a route by sea back to up north to try and get back to Argent.
Okay. Yeah. He has Eugene pull out like a notepad and start scribbling some things down. And I wasn't sure what was going to happen for the last couple of weeks. Things have been bad, but I'm happy to see. I don't know what I would have done without. And I'm happy to do whatever you need.
And Roland says, "Oh, come here, you big lug," and he gives him the big old hug.
I hate this. That's enough of that. To work, boy. Let's go. And Jean like kind of like nods. Thank you. Then he just like runs off behind Michelle.
Before he runs away, I'll give him a little wave.
He trips and falls.
Emmerin looks at you. Liar!
Oops.
That
just
boy
felt-
is going to be a full night within the month. Guaranteed.
I don't think he's taking any oaths. Not with her acting like that.
Oh, he'll be fine. I fell in love one time. I ever tell you that?
You should tell us that story on the road.
Story for another.
In the boat, boy.
Come on. You're still in love.
Would you two like some time in the extra dimensional room together?
No!
No.
Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we start planning your route back? I know we had discussed another things a little bit. Is that something that you guys still want to discuss tonight, or is that something we want to leave for another time?
Thinking maybe we leave stuff, but I'm happy to be argued with.
Because you guys will most certainly pass by that location on the way towards heading towards like El Real.
Or did you say Ivy Leaf?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So these are your options. You can either head to the southern outpost and then like back towards Padstow and then Barisa and then up to El Real.
I don't think we're welcome at the southern.
We are
outpost.
not welcome at the southern outpost.
Well,
They
unfortunately,
don't know
no.
anything.
I think that if we marched up there with a contingent of people from Elmenhof offering, letting them know that the road was now safe, then probably we'd be welcome at the southern.
Yeah, they wouldn't even need their crappy guards anymore.
Yeah.
it's an option. Is that something you're interested in?
Bunch of card cheats anyway.
What are the other options?
So the bad news is you have to go to the southern outpost regardless.
Oh, so like, yeah, that's fine.
So
Easy.
either back the way that you guys came down, like through Padstow, or you can just head from the southern outpost up either to or past the port of Braden, which is where Sir Roland, you came into Capengale from, and then just up to the northern outpost, which you guys approached kind of closely before you headed down to Ivy Leaf the initial time, and then back.
Wasn't there a guy in Padstow that wanted to go to Braden to try and find his wife and his daughter?
Dad.
Yeah, he was
Good,
doing that. Yeah.
Probably snag him on the way. Seems nightly.
If you want to, that would be a little bit out of the way, like to head to Padstow and then back up to Braden, but it's an option. So
Well, he had said he was going to go up there looking for his wife anyway, with or without us. So maybe we would just meet him there.
That's true.
the route up toward like from the southern to the northern outpost is a much more direct route, as opposed to all the winding, and especially the way you guys came down. The initial time you took the river, so that cut off a good bit of time. But you're probably looking at, you're stopping at Braden, can do that, or if you guys just want to head back towards El Real, we can do that for revisits as you guys come back through Capengale. But I just wanted to know if you guys were planning on stopping at Ivy Leaf to plan for that a little. If not, we can just go to El Real, and you guys can stock up on supplies, do everything you need, and then next session we can head from El Real and head back out towards Cracker Cord, which is, I assume, where you guys are planning on heading to. Discussion, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I have no strong feelings one way or the other about going to Ivy Leaf, so
Okay.
I am happy to go wherever you guys want to go. We can talk about that over the week.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I just wanted to kind of get a good idea of where we were so that everybody knew where we were going to be next session. Well, you load up the carriage. Who wants to attach?
Skelly's looking at me real hard, so I guess I have to now because I named him Mr. Stevington.
Go ahead and give me an animal hint back.
Oh, please. Oh,
You could have made him.
my good dice. Could have named him what?
You could have made him a doctor.
Oh, he's a surgeon.
Not that there's anything wrong to be a mister or like a ship's officer.
Well, you're that. So I'll come to that in a minute. What, my dear Ducky?
I'll also give the bag of holding because I'm assuming that Roland's going to still be riding Max.
Of course, he won't. He's not a draft horse, and he knows he's not a draft horse. So if you attach him to a cart, somebody gets bit every time.
So since Roland's going to be riding Max, I'm gonna give him the bag of holding so that I can safely be in the carriage. I don't trust those two with this, so you just take it.
Oh, thank you. I promise to only put, I don't know, I guess appropriate stuff in here.
So, again, this is another thing that we haven't discussed. This is not a normal bag of holding, just to be clear. This is another magic item that I have designed, and you guys have just not investigated it at all. So just
It's a
be
bag of
aware
holding.
that.
You were just like, it's a bag of holding, and we were like, okay.
I said it's basically a bag of holding.
That's not the same thing.
It's like selling your soul to the devil. It's like making a monkey's paw wish every time with you with this shit. It's basically a bag of holding.
It is. It has the same function for the most part.
All right.
But we can talk about that next week.
I hate you.
BK.
Yeah.
You go to hook Max up, or sorry, not Max. To hook Steve
How
up
dare
to
you.
this. How dare? Sorry, I apologize. Sorry, Max. You go to hook Steve up to this, and with a 6, you take the front and you lift it up and you put the saddle loops. You go to walk towards Steve, and he looks back at you. His feathers ruffle up. and
Mr.
then-
Stevington, you will put on the harness. You will haul the cart as usual. I don't want any fuss. No trouble from you.
Do I? Am I seeing Can I tell that Steve is not having this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do I notice it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're watching this in any capacity, you are well aware.
So can I pull out a ration or something and try to entice Steve to give Emmerin the help action?
Sure. BK, go ahead and give me another
Oh,
D20.
thank God. 16.
So, Laya, Emmerin, you see Laya kind of walk over and pull out a ration out of her pack and extend it out towards Steve. And Steve immediately his feathers go down and he turns and he snaps it out of Laya's hand and just sits down right in front of you.
So put the harness on. I give him a little scratch behind the ear and be like, "It's good to give it a one every now and then, buddy. Good job."
He snaps at you.
Oh, he's a good boy.
He snaps at you again. But yeah, so you guys are kitted up. I'm assuming you're all riding in the cart aside from Sir Roland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Laya is definitely in the carriage.
And Roland will ride Vanguard ahead of the cart. Is anybody driving the cart?
Yeah. You
It'll
can,
be fine. It'll be fine.
but Steve will also follow Max.
They're boys.
They've shared at least a pack of cigarettes at this point.
Yeah.
They're so incorrigible.
Max is teaching Steve all about credit card fraud and is all. And then you send them the check, and then you have them cash the check and send you 10%, and then by the time the bank finds out, you're in Bora Bora, baby.